Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to do a thread video of sorts. Sam St. John, my good friend in the VC, and I were having a chat this afternoon, and he told me about a video that James Griffiths from the UK put up, closing songs on not so great albums, and we chatted about it, and we decided let's do a maybe a closing songs period on any album. Our favorite closing songs, in other words. So I saw Sam posted his already. I'm not going to repeat any of the songs, the closing songs that he chose. These will be more in my wheelhouse, things that I really love and respect and admire. So let's start it off. Elvis Costello from his debut album, My Aim Is True. The song is Waiting for the End of the World. This is a fantastic album, I think. It begins, the opening track is Welcome to the Working Week, and at the end, you're signing off with Waiting for the End of the World. Just delivered in that punky kind of in your face style. All the songs in between are fantastic. There's 13 songs on this album. Every one of them is killer. Different styles of music. There's some country influence here, some punk, some rock and roll, everything you need. Attitude. There's Elvis on the back. This is, in my mind, his best album. His first 3 or 4 albums are A plus. So I'm going to start with that. Number 2 on my list. These aren't ranked. These are just thrown out for observation. My second one is from Music from Big Pink from the band, and the closing track here is I Shall Be Released, Bob Dylan song. Fantastic. It's used in the great movie The Last Waltz, their documentary, the final concert of the band. And I love this song. I love this album. Outstanding. Next up, some folk. Joni Mitchell's Clouds album from 1969. One of her trademark songs, Both Sides Now, closes the album. It's also got Chelsea Morning on here, that song about the Midway, the Gallery. If you like Joni, this has to be in your collection. Both Sides Now, of course, made popular by Judy Collins in 1968, I believe, was a single, went to number 2 or 3 on the hit charts. But Joni wrote the song and closes this album. I've looked at Clouds from Both Sides Now, thus the Clouds theme and the title of track of the album. Next up, I got to stick with my boys, the Eagles. This is Hotel California, monster album, and the closing track is The Last Resort. This is Don Henley writing about the Native Americans and how they were pushed off the land and a bunch of bigger houses bought. Nobody gave a crap about the people that actually occupied the land and building condos and reservoirs and this and that type of thing. So, got to have the Eagles on the list. The Last Resort, a ballad on a great rock and roll album that features, of course, Hotel California, Life in the Fast Lane, Victim of Love, and so on. Great album. Next up, Mr. Bob Dylan, closing track, an epic track, Desolation Row, off of the great Highway 61 Revisited. Probably in my top 10 albums of all time. Not a bad track on it. Then we go with a more obvious one, The Day in the Life from Sgt. Pepper. I mean, can you end an album any better than that? It's a landmark album, a landmark song. Got to have it on my list. They call me Mr. Obvious for a reason. Next up, The Doors, L.A. Woman. I love the song Riders on the Storm. Closes this album, and it's probably my favorite Doors song, to be honest with you. And the little tinkling piano, the raindrops. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. You know the song. Just an ominous, foreboding kind of tune. Jim Morrison with his poetic lyrics. The last 3 here. Jackson Browne's Running on Empty. The Loadout, Stay. Great way to end an album, talking about the roadies and was, packing up the road and listening to Richard Pryor on the radio and all that kind of stuff. Just the lifestyle. This is a great album, start to finish. Recorded backstage, on the buses, in the hotel rooms, life on the road, 1970s style, Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. The Loadout Stays, the closing track, and it's a killer one. My last two, the next one actually is one that everybody should have on their list. Who's Next? Won't Get Fooled Again. Just one of the great rock and roll songs of all time, from arguably the best rock album of all time. Zeppelin's got a lot to say in that matter, but I don't know how you can't jump on the Who bandwagon all the way through. Bob O'Reilly begins it, Won't Get Fooled Again, ends it, perfect album, 10 out of 10. And finally, Born to Run, Bruce Springsteen. The final track is Jungle Land, just a sweeping, cinematic masterpiece by the boss. He opens up with Thunder Road, 10th Avenue Freeze Out. You got Backstreets, Born to Run, She's the One, Meeting Across the River, and finally Jungle Land with the kind of West Side Story motif. The barefoot girl in the hood of a Dodge, drink a warm beer in the rain, the great sax playing by this man, Clarence Clemens. Born to Run, saved the best for last. Those are my 10 favorite closers off the top of my head. I hope you enjoyed. Give me a thumbs up. Go see Sam St. John. Highly recommend his channel. Sub to him if you haven't already. James Griffiths, thank you for the input and the idea in the beginning. If it's a thread video, we'd love to have everybody give us their 10 favorite closers. Thanks a lot. Take care. See you soon. Bye.